always the best. It's not perfect, and people inevitably get hurt. But here outside government, we recognize that it's a force for good for most people, and that is something that we should contend with if we ever want to be able to move forward beyond the regular conversations that we have surrounding capitalism and all of its flaws. And I'm going to be doing that in my speech today when I'm talking about one, the purpose of capitalism, and two, how one of the effects of capitalism is raising the standard of living. But first, just a very quick definition. Here outside government, when we say capitalism is a force for good, we mean that it maximizes capitalism, maximizes the well-being for most people. So that is definitely what we're going to work on. Does anyone have any clarification or any okay. So I guess let's move on to my case, which is one, the purpose of capitalism. Now here outside government, we say here that capitalism creates incentives that are adequately aligned with consumer demand. How is this so? Well, capitalism incentivizes competition. And it does this by allowing the market to regulate itself based off of what company or product or service that satisfies the demands of the population at this very moment. So ideally what occurs is that resources are allocated in the best possible manner, because now you only create what is needed, what the consumers, and more importantly, you only create what consumers want, and consumers as a result only buy whatever is needed. So the impact of this is that it actually encourages an investment. It encourages an investment from all sides of the population. And this ultimately spurs on society, spurs on the wheel of society. How is this so? Well, when there is a demand for X, substitute X in for whatever you want, companies and firms or people who provide services are incentivized to actually solve for this demand. And so if they do this by actually encouraging innovation, because you need to stand out from your fellow competitors, you have to be able to show why you yourself bring in the most impact, the best impact for the most people, while still at a price that most people will want. This actually allows for the most efficient allocation of scarce resources, because we don't have an infinite amount of resources, so we have to make do with what we have to satisfy the most people. But more importantly, this kind of goes to my second point on how this actually also employs the manpower to actually sustain production, because now companies can't just only identify that there is a demand for something, they also need to bring in people that's able to help them solve the demand. That includes employing workers. And so we actually involve other workers. When you involve other people into this process, you incentivize them to also have a stake in it. And it is a stake that's important that's going on in my speech later on. But if we compare capitalism towards something that's completely opposite, we can think of it as communism or socialism. We see here that between communism and socialism, the government has to consistently step in to regulate, to monitor things like prices, to have an overarching hand into production. What happens here then is that when the government has a heavy hand on monitoring transaction, you actually suppress innovation, you actually suppress where people can go, because now people are less incentivized to actually spur on innovation or work on ahead, because they realize that they don't have to bend to the will or the demands of an actor that they may not necessarily have the capacity to change or to flip. So we see here then that capitalism, for all its flaws, sometimes not efficient, but it regulates itself. And it is with this regulation that actually allows for the most people to get involved, because now I don't have to be a politician to perhaps start my own job, to hire other people and tell them, hey, I noticed there's this problem in this world, let's get together and let's fix this, and let's change the world for the better. Capitalism allows that for me to happen. But you seem to disagree?
How does the government reconcile these ideas with the monopolies that inherently exist within pure capitalism?
We say here that one, first of all, outright hand that monopolies can be good. Having a control over the market does allow for people to understand that these are the current issues that are plaguing consumers, and we need to be able to collectively identify what's going on, because otherwise, if you have people just shooting off ideas all at random, there's still some consumer overwhelm. Say if there's a centralizing theme that's going on in the market, that's not necessarily bad. But even if you do say that it's bad to have monopolies, we say here that there's sufficient regulation in the market that will be able to solve for it. Secondly, how it raises the standard of living. And as I mentioned before, companies need the manpower to actually sustain production to answer for the consumer demand. And so this will mean that workers and people will have to be employed. And they can be employed in various sectors. They could be employed to work in offices to provide services. They can be employed in factories to actually make products. Or they can even be employed in things labor, you being there, you exercising your talent by when capitalism opening the door for you, actually incentivizes you to also search out for what's better because you know that you have the higher skill that is lucrative in this certain field. This opens more benefits for you, this opens more doors and opportunities for you. And so what happens here with this is that the impact of this is that more people are then afforded the opportunity to accumulate wealth and participate in society. And wealth does not necessarily only have to be in terms of money, it can also be in terms of relationships, it could be in terms of knowledge. When you're allowed to grow and thrive in an area that desperately needs your skills, we say that this gives you opportunity to move past where you work. And so we recognize here that there is a clear obvious that some people here may not have the best compensation or they might not have the best environment here at Alaka'i. So we say here we recognize that. But let's do a case study for any work. Like we look at a rice paddy worker in China. It's better for that rice paddy worker to work in a Foxconn company earning $5 a day versus working out of the rice field and earning only $1 a day. It's a difficult thing to process and sometimes difficult to accept. But we recognize here on site government that exploitation does occur and it's going to occur on both sides of the house. But the benefits that capitalism brings is still better than where you were. And we see here, for most people, they care less about where they are currently as long as it's better than their past, where they were before. Because you've grown and you've improved. So we see here on site government, while we recognize that there are inequalities that come out of it, we see here that just allow people to grow, to move forward, to accumulate something that they never had before, matters in the long run and has to solve the solution.
Thank the Prime Minister for that speech. Call the leader of the opposition.
Can I be and talk to this man? Okay. It's kind of way that happens a lot. Okay. Hello. Okay. So we believe that capitalism is not necessarily a force for good. Now, because it seems a little unclear on what element of capitalism we're talking about, so we're going to go ahead and clarify this as unfettered capitalism as being a source for good. This is what we're going to assume. There is no other check and balance, so it's unfettered capitalism. And we believe that this is the case, that this is not a force for good because it encourages the individual over the expense of the majority. It's inherently, it can be an unequal system and it's purely unfettered. And also how crony capitalism and generally unproductive societies are the ultimate of what happens when you have this. But I'm going to recap what the government opposition talked about. I'm going to rebuttal before I continue with these points. So what we'll see is that they said it was good for most people and that it maximized the standard of living for most, but they did recognize some issues within it. And they talk about a lot about a consumer-regulated economy, which I think we follow some of that, which we have never seen one, that an economy that was purely regulated by people that did not become an unequal system. For example, if you look at the robber barons in the United States, like there, the market was dictated, the people were buying what they wanted to, and technically it was those prices that were, but it turned into this kind of crummy system, which we haven't seen so far. Also, none of this time. Also, we hear about how limited resources can be managed efficiently by capitalist groups. We heard this in the opening dub, which if we look at a lot of resources like sandalwood in Hawaii, for example, in the early 1800s, that was something where they kind of let the market decide on that, and the sandalwood became super rare in Hawaii, became just about extinct. And that was a limited resource, and that was without any government regulation and pure capitalism. So not exactly every resource can be managed efficiently by capitalist groups. Also, they talk about how monopolies are good, even though we've seen many cases where monopolies stifle innovation and will halt any progress so they can maintain their income and money. None of this time. So now I'm going to get more into our points here. So to continue on where it encourages the individual at the expense of the majority. Essentially, in an unfettered capitalist system, your goal is to get as much money as possible because that money is going to give you the power, right? It's going to give you the power and the means of having the life that you want. And if you have this kind of unfettered system, you can, essentially you just care about yourself. You talk with your family and be damned to everyone else, right? So this ultimately can encourage faulty productions. For example, if you just want to push out a product so you can just get as much money from it as possible, you will see things pushed out that are incomplete. For example, in software updates, this is very common, where they're just like, oh, we just need the money from it, just release it, it may not be done anyway, but we need more money to fulfill this product. And ultimately, it might not work, and we see this a lot in high-tech updates, and they can lead to some catastrophic results. Additionally, we can see this cases where there's a great deal of unrest. For example, the collapse of the Soviet Union as it was really good for all people, and we like to note that good is what provides the most benefit to the most people, and in an unfettered capitalist system, that is not the case. Also, we believe that the ultimate form of this kind of unfettered capitalism is crony capitalism. And this is where, essentially, the people, the oligarchic societies form, where the people on top, they've gotten this wealth at some point, they just maintain it within their families, and they have no release. We saw this a lot in the merchant states of Italy in the early 1400s until it unified in 1870. And we saw that these states was built on this wealth of these individual people, and basically everyone living there was serfs. It was unfettered capitalism, it was an oligarchy. That's what the word actually comes from those Italian states. And they essentially unleashed that way. But they just kept up that system going, and all they had was wealth. And only when political systems that were just put in check it, things like democracy, were what came to ultimately checking this capitalism and use it as a tool for good, because unfettered it's not. It requires management, because capitalism, we like to also know, is separate, it's economic policy. It's not a replacement for politics, where democracy is the things that tend to ensure these kinds of rights. But if you just let the people with the most money decide and put no account to things like institutions, we see these things take a point.
You seem to be worried about capitalism running unfettered. Well, consumers are not stupid, and they'll eventually find out when injustices occur and will demand change. Just look at the fast fashion industry right now. So why don't you trust the consumers to watch out for each other?
Well, unfortunately, sometimes if people have enough money and they can just pay people off, people may complain and they'll be like, all right, we'll just shoot them. We saw this happen in the Maidan revolution in Ukraine, where the people saw something was going on, where they died. He was an oligarch, he was very corrupt, and he only cared about him and his health as well. He was directly described as an oligarch, and to maintain that kind of kleptocratic power, he was like, okay, they're protesting, let's shoot them. Well, in that case, he did end up ultimately fleeing Ukraine and led to a great deal of havoc. So in a lot of places, from Russia to the Congo, the Republic of the Congo going on right now, they just shoot people because they have the money to pay for it. So ultimately, even if people rise up, they can still be oppressed and put back down to the places they see it. So just because they rise up, it doesn't mean necessarily that change is going to happen. So I'll just recap my course one more time here, is that it encourages the individual at the expense of the majority here. It is inherently an unequal system where some are on top and some are on the bottom because there's a limited number of resources, and unfettered without some kind of strong political institution. We also need to our third point will lead to crony capitalism, oligarchic societies, and kleptocracies where one person on top takes all the wealth. We see this in a lot of cases today. And that is why I believe unfettered capitalism is not a force for good. Thank you very much. We have a class.
Thank the Leader of the Opposition for that speech and call the Deputy Prime Minister.
We get a really weird characterization of capitalism on side opposition. Like, they tell us that capitalism is the situation in which all the power is concentrated in the hands of oligarchies, that they're going to run our society to ruin, and that we're no longer going to have any sandalwood trees or any way in which we're actually going to have some sort of economic benefit. However, understand that, within a model model set by Cynthia, in the way in which she provided a really great like foundation in which we understand capitalism. All of like their concerns that they bring alongside opposition are actually accounted for under our system. In today's speech, I will go into two pieces of positive matter. First, I'll read a little bit of a case study. This is an extension of Cindy's points about how capitalism actually, leads to the greatest benefit. We're going to talk about China. And then second off, like we're going to talk about how innovation necessarily leads to increase in welfare, that which is actually impossible on their side of the house. Alright, we find out a little bit of extremes for both. Now, first of all, like they tell you, okay, first off, that like in a capitalist society, that like people like don't care about each other, they're going to make bad products without any sort of regulation. First off, we don't think capitalism means no regulation. Like we think if it's like the case that a company is making a product that's going to kill people, we think the government's going to step in. We don't think that that necessarily is like impossible on our side of the house. But even furthermore, if it's the case that taking this medicine is going to kill me, consumers are probably going to tell each other, like if I take this diabetes medicine and it's going to kill me, I'm going to stop buying the diabetes medicine. If I stop buying the diabetes medicine, then the company's going to think to themselves, okay, I'm not making any more money. I probably need to step it up and stop killing people with my medicine. It makes sense, right? Furthermore, they tell you that like there's going to be inefficient use of resources, that you're going to lead to a lot of environmental degradation on their best case scenario. But then first off, like we want to protect resources in a capitalist society. And why is that? We want to protect resources in a capitalist society because that actually ensures we have long-term economic benefit. If it's the case that I'm going to use up all my sandalwood in 5 years and I'm like a sandalwood business, I'm going to stop making money from sandalwood if I don't have any more sandalwood to sell. So if that's the case, we're going to start protecting the resources that we're going to sell. We're actually going to better protect the environment on our side of the house, and we actually benefit from it. If it's the case that a company bases their entire society, bases their entire welfare and their entire wealth on the basis of this one key resource, the case is that they're probably going to want to find ways to make sure that they don't go through it extremely quickly, or to find some a better alternative in some way that they can actually make money. It's a positive matter. First off, so Cindy provides a really great, provides a really great foundation in which she explains to you how capitalism works and just a basic understanding about how it actually leads to great benefit. In this case study, I'm going to talk about China. I think we think China is the perfect example of a country that's benefited the most from capitalism. Why is this the case? Because after World War II, China was an extremely rural and poor economy. They were agriculture based. These people lived on a few dollars a day, and these people were working in government-run farms. If you have a government-run farm, this is extremely inefficient because you have the government setting the prices, saying how much you're planting, and this is an inefficient allocation of resources because you're actually unable for the government to actually be so involved in this process and making sure that the needs of the consumers are actually being met by the people who are planting it. And why is this bad? We think this is bad because you had a lot of people starving to death. The government was extremely inefficient and had absolutely no clue what they were doing. They had no clue how much food the people actually needed. They had no clue what were the best practices for making agriculture. And I guess that didn't really matter to them because there's no clear incentive for the government to actually make sure that the food was actually being produced in a really efficient and manner in which you're actually able to feed a large population of China. So how did capitalism actually solve this? First off, we opened up the government in 1970 with Deng Xiaoping. You actually had growth in the economy. And how was this the case? Because you had the alignment of incentives. There was an incentive for the mass population of China to provide labor for this huge international market. You had the alignments of means of the Western powers who needed people to produce their goods at an extremely cheap price. What did this lead to? This leads to more money. These people actually got jobs in China. China's first off, what were the impacts of this? China's economy exploded. They're now the largest economy in the world. Some people were lifted out of poverty. People who were not able to afford anything were starving to death. Over millions of people were starving to death in China prior to this. The moment they opened up their economy and made it so that people got individual people got jobs, these people were actually paid more. These people had more of an ability to actually feed their families, buy food, buy medicine, and actually have some way to participate in the global economy. And why is this the case? Capitalism is the prerequisite for an ability for an economy to actually participate in the larger scheme of things. You have more investment in China because you actually have a lot of human capital. There's an incentive for foreign powers to come into China and utilize the massive amount of innovation and the massive amount of capital that exists in China. The fact is that China is on an upward trend of growth, and the fact is that capitalism was the key reason why this happened. Before my next one, I'm going to take
Alright, so can you account for the environmental and health degradation that occurred in China during this time, as well as the increase in censorship and state policemanship during that, as well as some of the slave labor in China during this period?
Okay, first off, I've already responded to the point about the environmental degradation. We're going to say that not everybody's the smartest capitalist. We're going to say that the people who used up all the sandalwood were not that really smart because they lost, all of their way of actually making money. We think in the case of China, yes, it's the case that capitalism was the reason why their environment was degraded so much. However, we think that we're actually in the purest form of capitalism in which people are smart about the way in which they use their money, and smart about the way in which they allocate resources. You actually get a better ability for them to protect their environment. And to my second point, how innovation actually happens on our side of the house and it's difficult on their side of the house. The reason why in America we have such a huge pharmaceutical company is just the fact that we make so much money from it. But understand that no one would produce aspirin or no one would want a patent for insulin if it's the case that they wouldn't make a lot of money for. We don't think people are gonna think to themselves, for the goodwill of society, I'm just gonna create insulin and sell it at a super cheap price. The fact is that people in this world today get insulin. People around the world can afford life-saving medicine because there are patents, there are protection of property, and there's an ability for individual people to actually, for large groups of enterprises actually able to come together and find some way to actually make this medicine. They don't actually get that on their side of the house. You get people in the past, people if you had type 1 diabetes, you had any sort of disease, you were done for. However, on our side of the house, you actually have an ability, some way for enterprises to come together, some way for them to actually come together to try and account for these needs and make sure that they're actually producing goods that one they can sell and the selling is the incentive. So why is side government winning today's debate? First off, we already set a really clear question. Who saves the most lives? They've done no way on their side of the house. They don't show why they save more lives on their side of the house. They just talk about environmental degradation and the exploitation of labor. However, we tell you on our side of the house that we actually lead to the best benefits for everybody in society. Very proud of you folks.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister, for that speech. Call the Deputy
Just because we're better than we were before does not mean we are great where we're at. We understand that there has been innovation, there has been progress, but the reason we're having this debate is because people are stuck in a cycle of poverty. People are being exploited in the workforce, and people are not able to make workable wages and be able to pay for dinner or pay for an extra car or have sizable things that forces them into restraints of society. For my speech, I will get into rebuttal for open government, and then I'll go through my points as the top half so far has been on societal impacts, but my extension will be impacting all of these points through the individual. Incentivize is the best for you. Where it specifically tells you how capitalism is exploitative and for the individual, how one person can have all the wealth. Because there's so many examples about oligarchies in contemporary times and other times, like Italy, so many examples, and I think that we completely rebut that because by showing that. Second, they tell you about how China became a great economy. But my partner specifically told me about pollution, slave labor, child sweatshops. Through this capitalism has allowed this exploitation for vulnerable people that they said were actually being helped. We say they were being hurt. Now, to go into our points. First, that this focuses on the individual at the expense of the majority. Right now, we can say, oh wow, Amazon is so great. Through capitalism, we were able to import things and be able to buy things at cheap prices on the internet. But what's happening is that in these factories, people are having to work 13-hour days. The New York Times just put out a podcast interviewing these people and about how bad these working conditions are, how they don't get breaks and they don't get lunches, and that's in a capitalist society right now in this nation. Second, we tell you how it's unfairly unequal. Capitalism creates worker versus boss struggle in a cycle of poverty. In a capitalist society, to be able to make a business, like open government says, you have to have money. You have to have collateral to go to a bank to get loans to open up a business, to have materials to be able to sell, to be able to make a profit, to even be able to use capitalism to yourself. But if you don't have the money in the beginning, you aren't able to create a business if you want, so you have to work for someone else, creating this cycle. People are born into a social class, and yes, we understand that capitalism allows you to go up or down throughout economic classes, but we say through here, it is just enabling this cycle. People are staying rich, and the poor are staying poor because they aren't able to access these resources that you need money to have in the first place.
What is the purpose of human life?
The purpose of human life. We say the purpose of human life is to be able to live your life day in and day out, to be able to participate in your culture, and you are unable to do that if you're working every day in your life. You are having to have 2 jobs, not be able to talk to your children, and not be able to talk to your spouse or anything. Capitalism specifically, through our first point, is for the individual, but we say that the purpose of human life is to be able to collectively is to interact in what you want to do, be able to have hobbies. But to get there, you have to have free time. You have to have the economic resources to do that. And we say capitalism hinders this specifically. Now, next, we say about growing capitalism, how Brandon specifically characterizes this beautifully. We say that this stifles innovation because people are just going to put out stuff first. Maybe it is irrational just to say, oh, they're going to put out this following thing. But realistically, we want to capitalize on the market. If they're first, they have that name brand. They have the idea to be like, oh, consumers buy us first and then we'll fix it later. We think this is not okay and that this is inherently creating monopolies that Brandon specifically told you are not good, but oh, the government has stood by for it. For the individual, when you go through your day in life, we are very fortunate to be here. There are some people who are forced into this capitalistic society and have to go to work every day for 14 hours. People around the world work in sweatshops, slave labor, whether it's in this country, whether it's overseas, and we do not stand for it. We do not believe this is the world we want, and therefore we believe capitalism has actually hindered the standard of living on our side of the house. Even if exploitation is occurring, why is it bad for a low-skilled worker earning $7 working in a Zara factory worse than them having to slave away for 16 hours under the hot sun on an agricultural field for $2 a day? Okay, first, honestly, people are still working in the sun, so I don't think being able to say one job over another is better, because capitalism forces people into these jobs in the first place. We say that, yes, they are making money, okay, maybe they're making that choice to work in those sweatshops, or being, okay, I have to have this job now, but we say capitalism set up that system, and we do not like that. Yes, it's happening, and yes, okay, they're doing this to make a job because they're choosing that, but we say that society has forced them into these positions, to force them to take these jobs, and to force them to be like, okay, my needs don't matter because I need a job right now. And we say that capitalism has forced people to be able to have to make that choice, while other people are like buying like yachts and buying like extra like random things that you don't need for everyday life. But some people are not able to have a high standard of living, and they are having to go day in and day out with this struggle, and we think that is inherently bad. We firmly stand on the side of opposition, and that capitalism actually hinders the standard of life, and like our opening sentence, just because we're better than we were before, we are not great where we are at. Thank you.
Thank the Deputy Leader of the Opposition for that speech. Call the Member of Government. Thank you,
Side opposition has said the word capitalism with an adjective in front of it so many times that I think I have to clarify what this debate is actually about, right? We believe on side of our government that capitalism is a system of government, an economic and social system that allows the citizens and not the government to decide what is and what is produced and how much of it's produced and where it's sent to, right? they talked about, before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a roadmap, right? I'm going to tell you, one second. Yeah. So why are we having this debate right now? I think side government, side opposition kind of sums it up really nice. They said that there's a wealth inequality and exploitation of citizens, right? People who are doing this work. My partner gets up and asks a kind of a really important POI, which is what is the purpose of human life? And to answer this question that side opposition has kind of avoided, we have to break human life into three different parts, right? We believe that human life is broken into labor, work, and relationships. Labor is what you do in order to survive. This is you sleeping, this is you eating, this is you drinking. These are the actions that you take every day in order to make sure that you do not die. Work is what you produce for your children, the goods you make for society, and the cultural relevance of them, right? And we believe that the relationships is the most important part of human life. This is what side government really wants you to take home from this, is that capitalism is good for relationships. We believe that relationships are the interactions between individuals to create ethics, morals, and values in society. We are a social creature, as you can see in this room. We communicate, and we build on relationships that we interact with, right? We believe that capitalism does this the best. Side opposition gets up and says that I'll go now into some rebuttal. Side opposition gets up and talks about unfettered capitalism, crony capitalism, and all these types of capitalism, right? What they were talking about Italy before it was formed in like the 1400s, capitalism wasn't even invented yet. The inventor of capitalism was Adam Smith in the 1700s, right? So, if like you know a little bit of history, you would know that, right? We also believe that unfettered capitalism doesn't exist. Even the creator of capitalism never advocated for a system of capitalism that was not regulated by a government. Adam Smith believed that a government should actually interfere to stop this exploitation, right? Because of the benefits that capitalism actually ends up producing for the people in the long run, right? This is a long run argument, not a short term argument, right? They get into slave labor, and I'll rebut that throughout, right? What we want to talk about is kind of their third point, and what I'm going to hammer home is at the expense of the individual for the betterment of society, right? We believe in three things on side of government. That capitalism increases the relationships. This is our most important thing, right? We also believe that capitalism, much like opening governments stated, is capitalism creates innovation. Not only social, it doesn't only have social implications like social media and how we communicate with each other, but it also has global impacts like humanitarian aid for people who are less fortunate. We also see medicines derived and things like this. And we also see, for our third point, that capitalism decreases suffering. All right. So, like I stated, sure, yeah,
All right, so first of all, I'd like to know that I think what you stated, Adam, that the capitalism not being made in 1700, people use currency consisting to exchange products well before then. Yeah, and also your account that you also say that capitalism is a system of government and economic functioning. So how exactly does a society that is run entirely on capitalism?
Okay, cool. So basically, people have been using currencies for hundreds of years in the Roman Empire. The Romans were not capitalistic in nature. Like I said, capitalism was a social and economic construct. We believe that what we end up doing is we prioritize the work and the labor dynamic of the individual in order to get to a better fulfillment of the relationship aspect of the human purpose, right? What do we think is valuable in it? Like I said, it's the relationships. This is the luxuries that we enjoy and how it basically what we pass down to our kids, right? Capitalism lets us pass down and give back to our loved ones in ways that we wouldn't under any other system, right? But we also want to say that this isn't about whether Marxism is better or any type of thing. What we're talking about is capitalism by itself good, right? Does it alleviate suffering of an everyday person? We believe it does. We We wanted to hammer home also that the innovation created under capitalism has directly affected our third point, which is the human suffering aspect. More people are lifted out of perpetual poverty, out of starving, out of like all of these situations by the goodwill of people in countries like Sub-Saharan Africa or China. They benefit from the people who are part of capitalistic societies. We see innovation on AIDS and all this stuff. We also would like to directly contrast with the point, my last little rebuttal about the extinction of like the planet or other things, right? We believe that innovation, like left to its own devices, gets humankind out of problems that they've put themselves in, right? There has not been a single, like, obstacle that the human race has ever faced through with the eyes of capitalism that they haven't overcome. This is why we're all still here, right? We all made nukes, but we figured it out, right? For these reasons, we are very glad to propose. Thank you.
Thank the member of government and call the member of the opposition.
legalizes greed, and enables and encourages the rich to exploit the poor. This is a system inherently not a force of good, and in fact, we believe a force of evil. Now, I would like to point out two things before I go any further into my speech. I would like to point out that it is not our burden to find an alternative to capitalism. This is going to take longer than our 15 minutes of prep and our 7-minute speech. I think that it is also important for the panel to realize that we are arguing capitalism is a force of evil, not that it's just not a force of good. We realize that capitalism comes with a force of benefits. Now, I will be bringing to you today 3 points. Our first point being that capitalism encourages inequalities. Our second point being that capitalism conveniently ignores externalities. And our third point being that capitalism values money over happiness. But before I get into any of those 3 strong points, I would first like to offer a quick summary and a little bit of rebuttal throughout. So, the open government comes up here, and the Prime Minister talks about how this is a force for good for most. I think this is a very important fine print that she tries to slip in, and something that we will be focusing on in our speech. Now, they talk about the purpose of capitalism. They say that competition is best for consumers, and she even goes as far as to say that monopolies can be good. We would like to think of 2 very sufficient examples of how this is inherently false. We would like you to think of pharmaceutical companies. People are paying insane amounts of money for their pharmaceuticals because there are currently pharmaceutical monopolies. We would also like you to think of monopolies that run rampant through insurance companies. We say that this is something that is not good for most, it's good for people who can't afford it. Now, she also goes on to the second point and talks about how this is better for standards of living. She says that companies need manpower, and she said that she wants to talk about how, like, she tries to come up here and advocate for the working class, but in reality, capitalism uniquely benefits those who are already wealthy. She wants to point out that it is better to be poor than it is poor here in a capitalistic society than it is to be poor there. We think that this is something that, again, shows kind of the evil of capitalism, and comes out to say that poverty is much more severe in other places because capitalistic countries such as this one are exploiting those resources and are in fact just outsourcing our poverty to different countries. We think that this is wrong. Now, the Deputy Prime Minister comes up and talks about, well, they both want to talk about China, but one comes up and says that rice paddy workers, we should be sad for them because they're living in extreme poverty. And then the other comes up and says that this is like a great time for rice paddy workers and we should use China as a great example. So, anyways, we move on now to the leader of opposition and the deputy leader of opposition. Both come up here, they talk about how capitalism is not a force for good, they talk about monopolies, they talk about different kinds of capitalism, how individuals gain off of society and how it creates a worker versus boss society. I think these are all great points. Now, on to the member of government, Chris. He talks about human life and splits it up into labor, work, and relationships. It's ironic because he wants us to believe that relationships are the most important part of capitalism. But this is ironic because this is the aspect that capitalism often ignores the most. He comes up here and talks about long-run arguments, how capitalism creates innovation. We would like to point out that monopolies often hinder innovations, and that's something not to see under capitalistic societies. And then he wants to talk about suffering. He talks about suffering on global scales, and then he talks about how poverty-rated countries benefit because we use so great and sweet way of capitalism. This is something I'll get into in my points. Now, on to my first point, that capitalism encourages inequality. Rich versus poor, So, the inequalities that we see mostly are the rich versus the poor. We ask the question, who can afford the change we're facing now? A lot of things are changing in our society, and money is going to be what makes people have the option to adapt. We think that is inherently evil. We say that monopolies and power are making it hard for new companies to enter markets and to compete with established companies. We say that capitalism is ironic because it is in fact the downfall of the American dream. If you are poor now, your road to wealth is made of hot coals, right? It is going to be hard and you're likely not going to meet your goal. It is so rare, in fact, that people that come from poverty find extreme wealth in their lifetime, that we admire those who actually succeed in our society. Now, we say that growth is good and more is better. This is entirely what they're using, and they say that we would rather grow the economic pie. We say that the problem is the slices are not equal. Under capitalism, the rich have leftovers and the poor continue to starve. The rich will not be the ones to suffer. Yeah.
So, the point of today's debate is to see who maximizes welfare. How is it the case that 1.4 billion Chinese people are better off now than they are 30 years ago?
Okay, like I said, it's not a burden to say that something other than capitalism would be best. We're just saying that capitalism is evil, so that's what all of our points are coming to. And I can honestly support that on your side as well. Anyways, on to our second point, that capitalism ignores externalities. So we're talking about two different kinds of exploitation under externalities. We're talking about the exploitation of humans and the exploitations of the environment. So, exploitation of humans. We exploit the poor to make money, we exploit minorities and immigrants to make money, and we exploit people living in poverty elsewhere, which is one of the arguments for a benefit of capitalism, which we say is something inherently evil. We don't care if people aren't starving to death here, as long as they're starving to death somewhere else, but thank God I can get the newest version of my AirPods, right? We think this is inherently evil. We say that the exploitation of the environment is also something important to take into account. We say that, we can argue that capitalism creates a lesser poverty line, but that is because we are outsourcing our lower qualities of life to other places. While humans will prevail, what will be the path of destruction we leave behind that we're paved with capitalism? Capitalism may be good for us, not good for the world as a whole. Those who are greedy and exploitative now will be the ones who survive later. Now on to my third point, that capitalism values money over happiness. Happiness is a byproduct of usefulness. How can you feel truly useful in reality if your existence is based entirely around money? How many times have you heard someone say, I wanted to do this with my life, but there was just absolutely no money in it? We say that capitalism in this way is detrimental to a country's infrastructure. People are driven by the need to survive, not by passion. We said this can be seen in things such as teachers today, right? Like maybe we don't have the best teachers because we don't pay them enough, because we don't really care about that aspect of our lives, and so these people aren't caring. This is ruining our future, right? We see that this encourages a society where people have to choose between survival and joy unless you're rich, as they point out on their side. Now we say that human life is in fact the goal of a hunt for utility. When they ask what human life is all about, we say that utility should not be based just off of money and survival. We say that humans should be able to find and seek utility and a better tomorrow for your family, time to do what you love, and find happiness. And for all these reasons, we are very proud to oppose.
Thank the member of the opposition for that speech. Call the government would close the government case.
I don't know what world opposition is living in. They don't seem to understand just how much good capitalism spreads throughout the world.
They don't see the suffering that capitalism has alleviated. They don't understand that capitalism has allowed humanity to better achieve its purpose, to connect with others, and to live well. They're living in a world of greed, inequality. They're living in a world of greed because inequality exists despite the fact that in a capitalist system, even the lowest members of that system are better than 90% of people in any other economic system. We support capitalism because even though there is inequality, that inequality is better than equal poverty you see in any other economic system. I have two weight mechanisms to bring up in today's debate. These are the ways I think that are best to weigh around. First of all, which side of the house decreases suffering the most? Because we're not looking at how rich someone gets, but how much we can alleviate the poor. Second, which side of the house better promotes human interaction? This is our idea of human purpose, being able to interact with one another and live well. Which side of the house better achieves that human purpose? And as I go through this speech, I want to show how both these go to closing government. But first, some rebuttal. Let's first look at top half of the debate. Opening opposition brings me a few different ideas, and I want to quickly go through how all of them fall into closing government. First of all, they talk about inequality, and I bring up the point that more wealth is better than the alternative. There's simply just more wealth in the system as a whole. They talk about the exploitation of people. However, this goes also with their point about people being in a horrible working condition. In a capitalist system, you have a choice of where you're employed. If you don't like your job, you have the opportunity to get a better job. We believe that is a definite benefit of capitalism. And finally, they talk about the exploitation of resources. We see, even though there are a limited number of resources, it is better to get rid of suffering than to worry about resources. Because if we can get rid of suffering first, then we can plan for a better future altogether. Now, let's go into some of our against closing opposition. Let's start with their first point, that capitalism encourages inequality. Three responses. First of all, there is more wealth in the system. Yes, there's inequality, but there's less overall abject poverty in the world. Second, this also encourages creativity. We've seen companies like Apple, Amazon, and Facebook all started and grow. Just because you start out on the lower end of the economic ladder does not mean you can build up. Capitalism is the only system that lets you actually climb that ladder, and it's encouraged to climb that ladder. And finally, better inequality than the alternative. Because if we look at other systems that have inequality, there are things such as racism and sexism. In capitalism, what is important are man nature. Four responses. First of all, innovation. We think that innovation is important because it is through innovation that we can actually curtail the economic issues in the world. Yes, maybe there are cars on the road, but it's through capitalism that we've created a hybrid car. There's benefits to the world. We also can make sure that we can actually stop natural disasters or at least alleviate the effects of them through innovation. Second, it's also caused by non-capitalist forces. If you look at other ways in which it happens, you can look at any country on the other side of any war that has tried building up their own arsenal to fight a war. That's pollution, and it's not caused by capitalism, it's caused by hatred and war. So that's only one way that pollution is spread in a non-capitalist manner. Third, suffering is more important. Yes, we have limited resources, but it's better to alleviate suffering. If you have the ability to alleviate suffering, take that, use that to your advantage. And finally, the poor are better off in capitalism. And this goes with the idea of Apple, Amazon, and Facebook. You start lower on the ladder and you can climb. Real quick, I'll take those.
You say that we will be able to progress through technology and solve all of our problems in the future because we solved all the problems in the past. This is a logical error, and you, in fact, make a fallacious argument when, in fact, we cannot say that we are going to successfully be able to solve every problem in the future that is caused by capitalism simply because we've managed to solve them in the past.
So, that's simply not the case. What I got to today, what Chris has already talked about, is the fact that capitalism has proven its ability to benefit the world and to curtail certain economic issues. And we believe that since it's already shown that, we can do it more. It means that we can actually develop better technology, because in the last 20 years alone, technology has developed so much that the world is in a much better place than what it was 20 years ago. The final point is that capitalism apparently values money over happiness. We need to ask, what is their definition of happiness? They don't seem to have, because on our side of the house, we believe that happiness is the lack of suffering. And when you don't have suffering, your ability to actually put food on the table every night, we believe that is a definite benefit. There are a lot of countries in the world that, because of capitalism, are able to be a little bit better than the alternative. We believe that capitalism is important for that reason. Now, why do we win today's debate? Well, let's go back to our way. Which side of the house decreases suffering the most, and which side of the house better promotes human interaction? Why do we care about these two things? Because this is the way that we can create the best world. The world that has the least amount of suffering, not just in first world countries, but in developing countries as well. Countries that don't have their own capitalist system, but are benefited by the innovation that countries like the United States are able to produce. There are many countries out there that don't have capitalist systems that are better off now than they were before, because capitalist system across first world countries has not only created better medicine to help prevent disease, it's also allowed more money to flow into these communities. And we know if those communities eventually did become capitalist societies, that they would still be better off. Because then instead of focusing on all of the things that are keeping them down, they would be able to work, they would be able to really get to the point where they're able to produce for themselves, become more self-sustaining, and actually participate in a global economy. We also think relationships are really important. Chris talked to you a lot about why are relationships so important and why is capitalism the best way to actually have these relationships. Because capitalism encourages you to look beyond anything else about a person and look at them as someone that at the very least is a potential customer of yours. Yes, it may sound normal that you should look at people as a potential customer, but at the end of the day, it means you have to treat that person better than you otherwise might if you're not thinking about the economic ramifications of it. Because of that system, it means that you can go out there, and regardless of what's going on with the person, if they're willing to actually be there for you and participate in your business, you are going to treat them well. That's a benefit of capitalism because you're not looking at anything else about a person except their willingness to actually participate in an interaction with you in some way. We believe that's very important and definitely one of the greatest benefits that a capitalist system provides. So why are we winning today's debate? It's because we've not only shown that we decrease the suffering in the world the most, it's not only the fact that we've shown you that all countries around the world benefit from capitalism, it's also the fact that we show you that this is the best way to achieve human purpose, to actually build those connections, to be able to live a better life. You don't need to worry about putting food on the table every night, because when you participate in society, contribute to society, it means you get something back. Even if you're not at the top of the economic ladder, you at least are better off than in any other economic system in the history of the world. For those reasons, we are very proud to propose.
Thank you, Ms. Wood, for that speech. I call the opposition whip to close the opposition case in this
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to discuss a completely relevant issue. It is the discussion about capitalism, whether it is a force for good or, as we, the opposition, claim, a force for evil. And throughout this debate, we have heard several different proposals from almost by the sides. We have heard the argument that capitalism actually becomes a system where the rich exploit the poor, and we've heard the argument that everyone benefits from capitalism from the government. Now, I would like to examine both sides of this argument from three perspectives, from three questions. Firstly, which one is better? Is capitalism good for the self? Is capitalism good for society? And is capitalism good for the world? Alright, so for the first discussion, we see from the opposing opposition that happiness comes from usefulness. That, in fact, that capitalism drives people to not be able to have this fulfillment, this usefulness, because they are driven to only be working for their survival. They do not enjoy the job that they participate in. Instead, they only do their job because they need the money in order to be able to operate in their society. This is horrible because it removes the element of their life that is giving them meaning from their life, therefore driving them into a further pit of despair. This is part of what makes capitalism evil. Secondly, in the good for self, we see that there is they say that there is room for self. In fact, they claim that capitalism brings about a great sense of self. This is the opposing argument. This is, however, false, because there is no room for self in a business relationship, which they actually pointed out. They said you do not care about the person, you merely care if they are a customer or a boss, someone who can make you have monetary gain. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is an awful part of what their argument says. They are reducing human beings to cogs in a machine just for the use of profit and the margin, the bottom line. This, we say, on the opposition, is a horrible idea and must never be followed. Yes?
Why is there less poverty in the world than 100 years ago?
There is less poverty in the world because, actually, I will be getting into that in our good for self part. Good for society. Okay. Alright, so moving forward, we see that there is very clearly no room for self in the business relationship, and that therefore the idea of good for self falls directly onto the side of the oppositions. This point is brought to the opposition and is concretely on our side of the bench. The second major question I would like to ask is which side is better for society, which side gives good to society. And they would like to claim that they are generating wealth and prosperity within their system. However, this is not the case. Why? Firstly, capitalism generates monopolies. We hear a very strong case for this coming out of the opening opposition, where they discuss the ancient civilizations and how those ancient civilizations were capitalist, although the idea of capitalism wasn't around, and how they in turn and how monopolies in turn hinder innovation and stifle growth because they have no motivation for growth. They instead only, indeed, as a capitalist society wants, encourage the bottom line. Secondly, we said that it is bad for society because it exploits the population. And this gets into the more people are in less poverty that you mentioned earlier. This exploits the population because the poor, the immigrants, and the members of other countries are forced by capitalism to work in conditions that are awful and horrible in order to have a chance of survival. Now, they would like to claim that in fact they are making more of an income while doing these horrible jobs and it is better in the past. This is unfortunately not the case because as the rate of money that they have been getting increases, so has the price of goods. You see, a wealthy company cares not about whether people can afford, cares not about whether people are having a high standard of living. Rather, they only care about how much money they can extract from the poor. So if they can make a lot of money by selling food at inflated prices to the poor, then they will gladly do so. This is the issue that affects multiple countries. As their wages increase, so in turn do their does the cost of living increase? We see this issue across the world. Okay, so and the third question I would like to propose is which one is better for the world? Which is good for the world? Capitalism, or is capitalism rather evil for the world? And we would like to say that capitalism destroys the environment completely. Now, the opening government would like to say that that China has huge economic growth, and don't pay attention to the fact that they're destroying the ecological systems that they have. China is a perfect example of how a capitalist society will destroy its environment because it makes sense from the individual capitalist perspective to not conserve resources, rather to take and spend all resources and to move on, like we did with this like in the standard of living expansion and how and what's going on in China, where people are exploiting all the Chinese resources they can get their hands on and then leaving that region to go somewhere else. This is a huge problem. This is a huge problem because it, of course, shows that capitalism destroys the environment despite what they would like to say about making sense for them to conserve the environment, because the individual in capitalism is not concerned about conservation. Secondly, we see in Good for the World, we see that currently we are mostly capitalist world, and we are in fact destroying the environment. So nothing you can say on your part about capitalism would contradict that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, the capitalism is evil on the self, it is evil for society, and it is evil for the world as a whole. And that is why we are proud to oppose. Thank you.
Can we have another round of applause for the